Hey everyone's Jackel Wolf back in MC Eternal with another 5 minutes. That's how I did it. Now, if you've been following along, you know that the last couple of episodes we took a look at the world generation options. We took a look at the first initial quests in the quest book, as well as all of the tabs. And then last episode, we went and we did a little bit of an exploration around, my little base here. Basically, that's going to be different for every world, but it was nice to kind of get a feel for what's around, because that's really going to affect how I'm playing, and it's going to affect how you play as well. The things around you, your immediate surroundings are definitely going to make a big difference there. So that's why we went and did those things. Now it is time to get into these, quests, properly. So what we're going to do for this episode is we're going to open up the quest book. There's a few things on here that we need to do pretty early on, but the very, very first thing I want to do is I want to go over to the player shop. Now, we touched on this very quickly in the second episode. This is the place where we can take resources from our world and then sell them in, to get some coinage, which we can use in the shop to buy, all these really, really cool things from all over the place. There's some expensive stuff, there's some cheap stuff, but anytime that you're missing a ingredient, or if there's something that you really, really kind of want, this is the place to go and check to see if you've got enough money to buy it. What we want to do is we want to kind of set up, or at least start on the path to automating them. And, the quest book is very, very helpful in getting us to do this. On the right-hand side here, there is an introduction to selling, there is a task screen, and the outputting currency into storage. I'm going to call them quests, but these are like pretty much freebies. So to start, introduction to selling. So you've decided you want coins, don't we all? Lucky for you, I'm going to teach you the basics for automating the process and setting you up for life. So this is one of those basic advancements. All we're going to do is click that we've read it, and then we get our coin, and then we get a random loot chest. Every time you do it, it is going to be different. You can see there's 370 options there. The ones just listed right here are 0.01%. Some of them are probably a little bit more chances than others, but we go click on that, and a motorboat. Interesting. That's a new one. I'm gonna have to play around with that and see what that one does. But that's that first quest. That one was really, really easy. Nothing really much to it. Next up though is the task screen, and this is where we're actually going to start into doing stuff. So the task screen will become your best friend. To begin automating, simply open the GUI and pick a task. Pipe the items into the task screen and watch the coins flow. So again, this is just another check mark. We've read the description. That's all we got to do. And then our reward is a task screen, a item duct, actually 6 item ducts, and a hardened servo. Now this is what we're going to need to put everything together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and flip back. I'm going to put the coin up there. I'm going to put the motorboat up there for future. That's going to be fun to play around with. But what we've got now is we've got our task screen, which we're going to go and place down here. We can interact with this one just by right-clicking on it. What we need to do, or what I need to do, is pop my little face cam down below. So we click this open. On the top left, we got the task screen. We've got a task, a skin, an input mode, and then an input mode icon. So the one that's the most important here is the task. The skin, we can click on that. You can make it look like whatever you want. I'm not too concerned about that. Input only can be true or false. I'm going to leave it on false. I believe that means that we can pull items back out if they're not completed. So if something's calling for 66 or 64 or something, we've only got like 32. Maybe we want to pull those out and do something with them somewhere else. So I believe that's what that means. That's something you can change though if it's not working for you. An input mode icon, you can pick whatever you want. Tell you what, let's pick lapis. Just so we can see what happens, because we're not going to use lapis. We're just going to see what lapis does for the input item. But what we want to do is we want to focus on the task. Now, pretty much everything that was in the book on that shopping page is going to be here. This is just a list version rather than the icon version. I'm going to go all the way down here until we pick the dirt, 64 dirt. This is something simple. All of these are, certainly obtainable, but we're going to go pick the dirt for now, 64 dirt. That will end up getting us 1 currency, so not a whole lot, but I mean, for demonstration purposes, this is simple enough. So we're going to go hit the check mark in the top corner there. You can see it shows up 64 dirt. That's what it's looking for. So what we need now is we need a chest. We're going to go take that and we're going to place it down there. We need to connect these two together, so we're going to use the item duct in between. It does make a connection, but it doesn't know what to do with either of the ends. So that is what this hardened servo is for. We're going to go and right-click on the source item. This is going to pull items out. So if we put it on the chest, it's going to pull items out of the chest and push it into the task screen. If we did it the other way around, it would probably pull the items out of the task screen and put them into the chest. So what we want to do is we want to click it on there. Now, we need 64 dirt. I just happen to have 64 dirt right here in my inventory, and nothing is happening. That is because we need to go and prime this hardened server. We need to tell it what to do. So there's a couple of options in here. We've got our stack size. Right now, 16 is the maximum of one item that it will pull over. We can also blacklist something. So say we had more than just dirt in this chest. We could say, well, don't pull any planks. It wouldn't do that. The other thing we could do is we could whitelist something. So we had a ton of stuff in this chest, but we only want dirt to be in there. So we're going to go and whitelist that. But for now, we're going to leave it on a blacklist. I've only got dirt in there. Nothing else is going to go in that chest, so I don't need to worry about it. The next thing we need to do is we need to pick a redstone signal. Right now that signal is high. That basically means it needs a redstone signal to do something. If I flick it to low or to ignored, it's going to start pulling stuff out there regardless of whether there's a redstone signal or not. So you can make this super, super complicated, but that would be... There we go. There's our fourth 16 of dirt. That's 64 dirt total. There's a coin loot. That is absolutely awesome. That is exactly what we want. So this is all well and good if you've got a complicated item sorter, or even like maybe an ME system a little bit later on. That is one of the storage options in the game. I'm hoping that there's maybe a earlier game option. I did see there are storage drawers, so that might be part of it, where you come back from your your mining or your adventuring, you toss all your stuff into your storage, and then it pulls out the ones that you don't really need. Who really needs dirt in a overworld type situation where we are literally surrounded by an absolute ton of dirt? It will go feed them into this task screen, and then you get a coin every time you get 64 blocks. So that is all well and good. That works really, really well, but it is still very manual. And there is a way of automating this at least a little bit more. That's going to make things, a little bit, easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the quest book again. On the player shop, we've got this third quest here, outputting currency into storage. So we're going to click on that. This device, player's chest, can draw out coins automatically from a player's inventory. If prompted to do so, give the slot where the coin is located full access. Now, it will pull out more than just coins, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. I'm not 100% sure if there's a range on it, but for the most part, what we got to do is we got to click the task button. Very simple again. All we need to do is really understand what we're going to do with these, and then we're going to go get our reward for a player chest, another hardened servo, 3 water mills, and some basic drawers. Now, the basic drawers are not 100% necessary, but they will make things a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and remove that chest, and then we're going to go and place down these basic drawers. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take that player's chest, we're going to go place it over here, and then we're going to connect it again, very similar to how we connected the chest and the task screen. Once again, we need to tell it where to pull items from. So in this case, we want to pull items from the player's chest over into whatever our storage is over there. So we're going to go put the servo there. Here's where we got to do one more step though. The player's chest requires some power. Specifically, it requires grid power, which is really, really good. It is a wireless form of power that, once you get the stuff in your world, it is, very simple to spread it around. And luckily, that was one of the other gifts that they gave us, was a water mill. Now, gives GP, oh, you can't read that because of my face thing. If we put it up here, it'd be a little bit easier. Gives GP for adjacent flowing water water blocks. The higher the level, the more GP. Source/full water blocks do not count. Power given 4.0 GP. So what we're going to do is I've set up a area down below here where we can go and set this up. So it is, make sure that is closed, just over here. So what we need to do is to set up these grid powers in a place where there's going to be water flowing past them. So I've got 3 holes here with a hole in the middle, and we'll put those 3 blocks down. The hole in the middle is going to be for the water. So if we go and break this block here, we've now got a flowing form of water. You can see there's a fan spinning in there, which is absolutely perfect. And we're now generating 4 grid power. Which is good because our chest is going to be burning 4 grid power. Now, we can do better than that. What we can do is we can go and break this guy right here. And now we've got 2 sources of flowing water for this guy. So we are now generating 8 power. This guy over here, we are generating a 4 power because, again, it's only got the 1. So we go break this one over here. And now we've got 2 generating 8 and 1 generating 4. And then this one here. And now all of a sudden we've got 3 of these water mills generating 8 power each. This is okay, but we can still do better. So simply what we can do is we can go and take all of this stuff. Oh, I picked up some string. I've got the archaeology skill, so I get random stuff every time. Or not every time, but often when I'm breaking blocks. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and break all of these. I got some bowls as well. That is really, really cool. There's a lot of stuff to do with just for getting bowls. That's interesting. But this one is now generating 14 power. So this is very good. This is working really, really well. We can go break the rest of these. And now we got 3 water mills generating 14 power each. So our total grid power is 42, which is absolutely perfect. That is good. That's going to keep us in power for, quite a bit. I don't have any plans that's going to need grid power anytime in the future. So this will work really, really well. So what we need to do now is we need to go back up to our little storage area. And if I go and right click on this, we can now access this chest. Now, you may be thinking this is really, really funny because your chest contents are exactly the same as your inventory. And that's what this is. So this chest can basically interact with my inventory. I don't know if there's a range on it, but what we want to do, we've got this set up to collect dirt. So what we can do is we can go and we've got a dirt in our block here. We can click on it. We can make it full access, which means it can import or export. We can make it extract only, we can make it insert only, or no access at all. So we're going to leave this as full access for now. It's probably the simplest one to deal with. You can definitely make it more complicated. Because I only want dirt being pulled out of my inventory, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the second hardened servo, exactly the same as the other one was before, but we're going to go and make this a white list for dirt. That means only dirt's going to get pulled out of here. And again, we got to set the power on here. So I'm going to leave it to ignored. We watch our inventory here, and any second now, it's going to start pulling out items from our inventory. This is coming right from our inventory into our basic drawer there, and then from the basic drawer over into our task screen. So we don't have quite enough to get to the 64 though. So if we go and open up our quest book, we've got 75% of the blocks we need for to get 1 more coin here. So what we want to do is we're going to go out into our world and we're going to go get a little bit more dirt. So let's go over here, and I should have made a shovel for myself, but let's go and dig up a little bit of dirt. All right, so there is 16 dirt. I know that this was my import slot over here, so we're going to go put that 16 dirt there. And any second, it's got pulled over. All we're going to do now is wait for us to get our coin. And any second, there you go. So we got a second 1 coin there. Again, dirt is not the best of uses of your time, but it's certainly, it's not something you're going to want tons of in your inventory anyways. The other thing we can do, and this is sort of what the quest book is getting at, what we can do is we can also prime this for coins. So we're going to go place that coin there, and we can go take that out and it will pull coins out of our inventory and put it into our basic drawer here. Now we don't want those coins going in here, and I'll be honest with you, I really just want to take those coins, put them into our pocket. Last thing we want is to lose them somewhere. But so what this basically means is now I can go mining in my mine shaft. I could have this set for cobble, and every time my inventory gets full, I can make sure cobble goes into that spot. It's not going to go right now because we don't have it whitelisted, so anything that accidentally falls in there won't get pulled over. But at some point, I may say, okay, I've got enough cobble on me. Let's go empty out some of our stuff. We'll start throwing stuff in there and it'll get pulled up. And then, cobble is one of the things, we can do in our, in the task screen. So there we go, 64 cobblestone. It only gets you 1 currency, but, rather than, carrying it around, all the time, and you can actually set this up so, you have everything. So you can have your iron go into your storage system. You could have all of your gold, all of your metals, all of your different stone types. If you get it preset up here, with a whitelist, you could certainly pull pretty much anything over. You could actually technically just leave this off on like a blacklist and have everything that goes into that slot pulled over and then organized into, a giant organization system. So that would work as well. But you know what? That's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you did any of this any differently than I did. I would love to hear about all the different ways there are to get these quests and to use these items. I think they are really, really cool. I really like them. But if you enjoyed this video, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JackelWolf. Also, check out the description below. There will be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi. As well, there will be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content and you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks out there for all of my supporters. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.